What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Koalafied podcast, live from Phuket, Thailand. I'm Two-Tone.
And I am Koala Puffs, and we're here to tell you about all things cannabis right here in Phuket, Thailand.
And there's a lot of it.
There is a lot. Honestly, initially coming out here, we knew we were coming for a 7 Cup. We knew we were coming to judge a cup. So obviously there's some cannabis life out here. And I've been keeping an eye on a couple of cannabis creators that have come out here. I saw a couple of businesses have opened here, but we haven't had a chance to really explore it much.
Not much.
Until now. And let me tell you, if you are planning any type of vacation where you are trying to consume cannabis, safely, and you have some cool lounges where you can go and do that, where the weather is really nice and you get the most bang for your buck, Thailand's the place to go.
It's incredible. The only thing, you have to book a long enough trip.
Yes.
Because there's so much to see. I think a week isn't doing it justice. You might have to do a 10, 14-day trip here.
Well, you also got to break it up. Okay, you go see the cannabis stuff, then you see the attractions, you see the islands, you try all the food, you go see the big Buddha. There's just so many things to do. One of the things I wanted to cover is the price difference out here, because vacationing anywhere can get pretty pricey,
It usually is.
It usually is, but we've gotten a chance. And weed is just pricey,
Always jacked up.
I kind of, one of my favorite things here is that it is so obtainable and it is so affordable, because when I have gotten a chance to go to Amsterdam before, it is very expensive out there. That's probably why so many people are smoking spliffs in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Because it's like $70 for a gram of some decent flower.
Yeah, they really tax you over there.
It's insane.
Hard.
Meanwhile, so I filmed a YouTube video here and I ordered 3/8. I ordered a gram of ice hash to put into a roll-up for a donut.
Okay.
And then I got a gram of their top shelf rosin. All of that was $70.
And the top, when we say top shelf, it's very good.
The rosin is really good here. The only thing that I would say is when you are coming over here and you want to smoke flower, mention, what is that? PGR, what is it?
You just want organic weed. You want soil grown or, coconut.
What's the abbreviation of the one that we don't want?
PGR is like a phosphorus overload, kind of makes the bud grow a little bit bigger. Usually you can tell when it's just a very dense, hard nug. A lot of times it has PGR in there. And
there's a lot of flower out here with PGR. So that's the only thing to kind of because you can feel it after you smoke it. You could feel it a little bit heavier on the lungs, and it kind of harsh on the throat a little bit. It makes you cough a little bit more. And I would say the high is not the best. It's not a regular one. But if you were just asking, making sure that it's all organic product, it's very obtainable and easy to get here.
There are enough people really trying to do that craft cannabis out here where if you take a little bit of time and you ask around, I think you'll find a couple brands.
We found one.
That are, boy, did we ever.
We found one. It's called OTF, Only the Finest. That's the abbreviation. They're about 2 hours away from Phuket, and they are a French company.
French company.
I didn't even know France gets down like that, and apparently it doesn't, because they had to relocate and started somewhere else. And their flower and the rosin. Wow.
The rosin, the flower and the rosin, I think in LA would be top level, black market or in the dispensary. It was very clean. You could tell that these people were taking their time. Attention to detail was very important to them. Terp profile.
Curing.
The cure. I just think that was probably the best cannabis / the best rosin we saw.
Oh, hands down.
And it's just cool to see that, not a big company, just a couple people really doing their thing at a home grow. Yeah, I think it is.
I think it is a couple.
And they're doing big things. And I think out here, it kind of allows you can get a lounge a little bit quicker, right? Without having to spend tens of thousands of dollars on permits and then more money for a mortgage, a brick and mortar spot. It's very obtainable out here. So I think that's why we're starting to see some people move to Thailand and just keep on growing that. And that was indoor.
That was indoor. You could definitely get a tent for the outside, get it all protected, making sure that it's good.
We smoked some good outdoor rosin. And again, just clean, attention to detail, and there was no PGRs. You could tell that they did a clean flush. You could tell that they cared about the cure.
Yeah.
So I'm really shocked at one, like you said, the price difference out here, and then also just how large the cannabis community is. It's bigger out here as far as places to go hang out than in LA.
Oh my God. In LA,
By
well,
far.
I don't know if you guys know this, but LA is super. Let me just say this. America is about their money. They're not about to provide you a lounge where you can go and hang out and be safe and be comfortable. That's not the point of the United States.
No.
The United States point, mostly, there's a lot of people that care in there, but for the most part, it's about the money. How much money can I make? And a lot of it is like, okay, we could charge people up the ass for these licenses in order for you to consume cannabis in a lounge in Los Angeles. And honestly, like, it kind of sucks. There's a couple of lounges, like, everything's about the money. Like, if you come with your own product, you have to pay if you're smoking your own product. You come in, you have to buy whatever is over there. You can't just like here, you could just pull up. Most of the lounges in Los Angeles do not have food. I think the Cannabis Cafe is the only one, and it is temporarily shut down due to the vandalization that has happened there.
Yeah.
The Woods in WeHo does not have food. You can order it, but I can also order food at home. Like the whole point is I'm trying to go and enjoy myself. It's just like the vibes in like Los Angeles. And we say LA because like I haven't had a chance to go and explore as many lounges in other cities and other states. So that's what I can compare it to. Here, it's just like, it's like they want you to come and hang out. They want you to enjoy yourself. Bring your product, buy the product over there, order some food, get a coffee. Like they just want your vibe and your energy. And it's like so incredible. And it is literally everywhere you look, there's a consumption lounge or a dispensary.
And there's people in them. There's people hanging out. It's almost like a Starbucks.
Yes.
Where people are coming in and it's like, I got my own weed, but let me get a coffee and a crepe or something.
Let me bring my computer.
Post up on the Wi-Fi. You're having a good time. Oh, look, someone else comes in. They have a conversation. And it's just very nice. It feels like it's not a weed lounge.
No, it's like a restaurant where you can smoke weed.
There are restaurants and coffee shops where you can just come in and enjoy yourself. Yes. And that freedom, I think, really lends to the vibe of just you wanting to go and hang out.
100%. And it's not just the lounges. We went to a restaurant, a Japanese-style restaurant. They had allowed us to bring our rigs and smoke over there. You can't really find places like that in LA because everybody's worried about getting sued. Yes. Everybody's worried about getting in trouble. You get fined, you know? So you don't really want to take a risk in having somebody smoke a rig at a restaurant.
Yeah.
We didn't get a chance to check this out, but we were informed that there's what is called a banya. That's how you say it in Russian. It's like a sauna where you go to, and it's just a little bit different than like a spa. And you can bring your rig over there, or you can dab over there. Like
that's super
Thailand
cool.
is progressive as fuck. I will say this though, being in LA, I kept hearing over the last like year that the law might retract. So a lot of the time we kind of didn't come and visit here every opportunity that we had because I was concerned that they're gonna go back on how legal it is out here, you know? Obviously the last thing you want to do is go on vacation somewhere, end up in jail, you know? So we weren't trying to do that. Coming out here, I don't think they're going back on their laws anytime soon. No. It would be so much work considering how weed is everywhere here, everywhere.
There are certain streets throughout the city where every third shop on the left or on the right is some type of cannabis sign.
No, for real. I made a joke that it was like, it's a massage parlor, a restaurant, a tour guide place, and then a weed shop. Yep. And then it repeats itself.
And I don't know if I've ever been on vacation in a safer place because I've left my cell phone on, because I'm using the cell phone as directions on the scooter. And I've just left it on there for sometimes 30, 45 minutes on the street, and it's always there. So it's been an eye-opening trip. And like you said, there's, you know what you see? You see a Muay Thai gym. You see some type of massage parlor, coffee shop, cannabis shop, and it just keeps, and then a scooter rental spot.
Scooter rental spot.
On repeat.
Yeah.
Just constantly.
But you know what? Okay, so I was scootering the other day, and I really liked that because I was like, you know, when you're in Los Angeles, I'm using Los Angeles as an example.
That's where we live.
When you're in Los Angeles, on one block, there's a bunch of different places, and almost each place has a line. There's a wait. It's like busy. Here, it's pretty much the same type of restaurant repeated constantly. It's the same type of food. So if you see it's busy over here, you go across the street, it's the same type of food.
Yeah.
All the food is on the same level. They're using fresh ingredients, fresh fruits, fresh vegetables. They're cooking it right there. And most of these places have a massive menu. I mean, it's everything from Thai food to pancakes to smoothies to a soup, and everything is just tasting so good. So I'm just like mind blown because I feel like I've like why did I hold myself back from coming and enjoying it over here for so long? Because this is such an incredible place for a cannabis lover. I haven't seen anybody drunk or anything like that. Like literally everything is like...
Whoa, now that I'm thinking about it, and even in the area that we went to,
yes,
that was like a heavy drinking,
Beach, yeah,
there was not anybody that was like stumbling.
No.
And you smell weed in the air some places, yes. But even still, it's not as prevalent. I think people are going into the shop, you post up, you grab a Thai milk tea, which
incredible,
are so good. Even the orange juice over here is such a vibrant orange that I'm just shocked. I've loved Thailand so far. And I think we had a good experience with the judging at first. The first couple of days out here, we were kind of getting into the Thai cannabis scene.
Yeah.
And because like you said, we saw some great product, and then we saw some product that still needs work. But it was cool to see how passionate people are and how they'll travel 2-3 hours to different parts of Thailand to go into these competitions. And
that's what we're about to do. So we flew out here for the 7 Cup. Shout out to Jack from Pink Exotic for booking us to come out here. Truly appreciate Jack.
Love it.
We were just going to be in Phuket until we go to Mary Jane Berlin, which... you guys, the next podcast episode is going to be from Germany. And then everybody kept bringing up Bangkok. Obviously, Bangkok is a huge city, but the reason why they were bringing it up is because while we are out here, there is a cannabis event that's going on. What is it, Highland?
Yeah, I think, Thailand, Highland.
Bangkok Highland 2025. I really don't know what kind of an event to expect. I just know that cannabis is going to be everywhere. Yeah. Like there's going to be awesome product to try everywhere. So we're going to be checking it out. And I just kind of am curious about the difference between the Bangkok cannabis scene and Phuket, because Phuket is blowing my mind. Like, I don't think I can use enough words to describe how mind-blowing this place is.
It really is. And this is it's still city, like a little city, but it's more so country side vibe. And I think going to Thailand is going to be like... going to Bangkok is going to be like going to New York City. Yeah. Like heavy city vibes. And I'm excited because we saw some dabbers from around Thailand kind of congregate in Phuket for 7 Cup. And now I'm excited to see like maybe some other people that we haven't met, see some other glass.
Speaking of glass,
let them know.
I have a tradition where for the last couple of years, any new country that I go to, I try to get a glass piece, a rig that is made by a glass artist from that country. So when we went to Japan, we got a slop cup. Shout out to Slop, so fucking cool. That. And I've been on the lookout to see who we get in Thailand, who's like one of the coolest glass blowers out here. And I don't necessarily want to go for like a beginner level. Like I want to go for somebody that already, has been making glass for several years, really has their craft, has their own personalization on the rig, So I'm going to look out for that. So I think Bangkok is going to be where we scoop a piece. I'm really, really excited about that.
I think we're going to see a lot of people at the event who are either bringing glass to sell from all around Thailand or some people who are just from Bangkok who have some really cool pieces. So I'm excited to see what Bangkok has in glass.
Me too. It seems like the thing that's bigger out here, though, is the ice hash. It's very different to me. I'm not so used to it. I think my throat is just like, it feels the burn.
Yeah.
It's mostly like not to dab. It doesn't seem like there's so much dabbing going on over here. It's mostly to mix into your joint pre-rolls, your blunt pre-rolls. I wouldn't say they're smoking so many blunts here either. So it's like a hash hole additive. You
People
could just use that.
Blown away. I saw you rolled a couple blunts and people were like, whoa, well, look at what she's smoking over there.
Yeah, I mean, Brothers Broadleaf, we got that out here. We did.
And apparently we got lucky getting it out here.
We did. I didn't know that tobacco was illegal out in Thailand. Now I know. If you don't know, now you know. So if you're going to be coming out here with a bunch of blunt wraps, I mean, I was fine, but apparently like that was a risque.
Yeah, put it in your check bag. You'll be okay. Sure.
Yeah, for sure.
It was worth it because those blunts are really, really nice. We've been smoking them to start the day, to end the day, in the middle. And
absolutely. Which is a lot. Real nice. Because you're a dabber.
I am a dabber.
Out of nowhere, Tone's like, I could use a blunt. I would like a blunt. He's a blunt smoker now, y'all.
On vacation, it's very hard to have like that real solid dab setup.
Yeah.
And it's just so much easier to roll with the roll up. So I think that's why I do miss like a nice, perfectly toned tap though.
But we have the disorderly. What you talking about?
For sure. I haven't been setting it up that much though, just because we're out of this, we're out of that. So
I understand that. Yeah, no, this place is absolutely incredible. However, I will say that out of the things that are legal here, one thing that is illegal is vapes. You will not find a vape over here. And
kind of like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Everybody's smoking weed.
Weed, yeah, or ice hash, pretty much like ice hash mixed with the flour or just straight flour.
And Piatel is like
big here.
It's huge.
Tell us a little bit about that, because that's more of like your level of expertise.
Piatel is literally just ice hash that is kind of left in like a large amount of ice wax, right? And they'll fold it up into parchment paper and just kind of let it sit. And what happens is it's called greasing up. And it's just curing and kind of forming into a solid. And the trike heads, some of them might burst. You have the terpenes kind of mixing together, and it's creating this cured ice hash that is very strong smelling.
It's so potent.
Yes.
Like as soon as Jack opens up the parchment paper, it's like gas stank into your nostrils.
And it looks wet.
Yes.
And those are the terpenes. Yeah. You shine the light over it. It has like almost like a diamond look to it. So it's just a different way of smoking ice hash, a different way of curing ice hash. I enjoy dabbing it, but it's not something that I would like to dab.
It's so much banger cleaning.
It's a lot of banger cleaning.
It's so, because it has like those particles that are left over.
It's the trike heads, the real trike heads.
Yeah, and it's just like, you really, especially for those that got those Toro bangers, y'all know that those are not cheap bangers. You don't really want to be leaving that shit with it like that, getting it all chassed up. A bucket banger that's just like a whatever banger.
Good to go.
Next time we're coming with a bucket banger for show.
Yeah, and the Piatel is really like, that's why we use rosin, is we put that ice water hash inside of a micron bag, and we are basically bursting the trichome heads and heating it up so that those oils sift through, and we're holding on to the trike heads, because that is just that little bit of plant matter that is still left in there. That's why rosin is, the cleanest way, because you're not burning any type of plant material if it's solid rosin.
If it's done right, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, it's really fucking cool to get a chance to see all of it. I will say one thing that's working against them over here is the humidity, because we got a chance to taste test a bunch of stuff. We had 2 cases. One case was full of ice hash, one case was full of rosin, and then we had a bag full of flower samples. A few of the ice hash molded, and it was within days. It was within like 3-4 days. It was
3-4
just
days, literally
covered in like a fur ball. So it definitely, like, the humidity is kind of working against some of the products here. I don't think that would be the best to get like bulk orders here, unless you have a refrigerator where you can keep everything in, because we didn't put stuff in the fridge.
No, you really, really have to take care of your hash out here. Again, leaving it open is just typically not good no matter where you're at. But if you're in heavily humid areas, it does just add a little bit of water onto your hash. And like you said, you add a little bit of warmth in the room, and
it's gone.
A day later, you're like, oh, you know what? This was actually pretty good hash. And you open it up and it's just fuzzy.
Yeah. The people in Florida watching right now, they're like, yeah, that's why I go through my supply so fast.
For sure.
For sure, humid out there. Yeah, we've never experienced something like that, because we're in a very dry climate in Los Angeles. So you don't really get the moldiness. And that kind of got me thinking about, like, the curing process must be a little bit tough out here too.
I would assume it's very hard to
get it down.
To get a climate locked down with such humidity, such strong sun. And then, our first couple days out here, the rain was very strong.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different shifts, and I would think that definitely creates a lot of problems for the curing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you're growing out here, you really got to know your craft. You really got to know, like, how to make it work. And that's initially we didn't know that some of the plant here was not organic, so I thought that was the curing, because all of them had that, like, aftertaste that was kind of like burny, kind of peppery. It was a little rough. So there's a lot of product out here. You just kind of got to take a second to go see what you like, try it out. A lot of the time you look at the flower out here, and when you smell it, you'll be able to tell that it's not very potent on the smell. It's trying to kind of fool you with the look. Those are the ones that we kind of had like a little bit more of a burning feeling on when we were smoking.
I think that was the really cool part about some of the entries, but really what I'm talking about were the people from OTF is they nailed the cure. So you could tell that, like, I don't know how many iterations they did of practicing and trying to really get their process down, but you can tell that they got it down.
Yeah.
And the weed tasted like it smelled. The rosin had a very strong taste on how it smelled. So it is nice to see that there are people who are like, and it's just like LA.
There's a lot. We just haven't had a chance to try a lot of them either.
There's people focused on, AAA best weed in small batch. And then there's people who are focused on just like numbers and getting a wide variety and like a big stock to kind of put out all across Thailand. But we tried some hash and some rosin and some flower that was spectacular.
Yeah,
for sure.
really good. Keep an eye out on my YouTube channel. I have a video that is dropping that kind of has some close-ups of some of the flowers, some of the like rosin and ice hash that we got here. Also keep an eye on our live streams because we're streaming everything out here so you guys can get a chance to see. And if you haven't seen the streams, the VODs are up so you can rewatch them for up to 60 days afterwards. Really fucking cool.
We love that.
Yeah. What do you think is going to be different in Bangkok outside of it just being more city-like and more busy?
I think it's going to be a little bit more like in your face. Like maybe a lot of these cannabis shops don't have like anybody out front, where how when we went to Patong, there were a lot of people kind of out front trying to usher you in.
Get this weed.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of that. But then I also think we're going to see a step up in quality where maybe there's going to be more high quality in Bangkok just because of the number of people. So I would assume like there's probably more people out there that are really trying to do the craft thing.
I also feel like there might be more dabbing in Bangkok because a lot of the guys that we linked up with at the 7 Cup, I keep saying 710 Cup because 710 to me is dabbing. At the 7 Cup, and a lot of them had really nice pieces with them. And when we were chatting it up, they were like, oh yeah, we're going to Bangkok for the Highland Cup as well.
Yes.
So I think there might be a little bit more dabbing out there. There was a lot of heady pieces that made it to the sesh. It was really, really cool. Nobody pulled up with a bong. Everybody either pulled up with a rig or they were utilizing an e-rig. I saw Dr. Dabber rig being used out here.
The e-rig seems very prevalent out here.
Yeah. Well, anywhere, I've noticed that anywhere outside of the United States, the e-rig is like big, It was
shocking to me. Like one of the people that we were hanging out with out here, Jack, incredible person, he took his first dab.
He didn't tell anybody. Y'all, if you check out the podcast, we actually filmed it right here. We filmed the podcast for the 7 Cup. I think they just started the podcast. It was their second episode ever. And we told him we're bringing a rig, and he was like, fire, I love it. Brought the rig, set it up. He brought his piatella. He was like, look at my stuff.
It was
And
good.
then I was like, let's take a dab. It was good. And he was like, all right, let's take this dab. We took the dab. And then, well, we all shared one dab. Me, Jaime, and Jack shared one big dab. And then Jack just stops talking mid-sentence. He was like, so I was thinking that... Silence. I was like, oh shit. And then he was like, this was my first dab out of a rig. And we were like, why didn't you say anything to anybody? You're hosting a 7 Cup. We need to teach you how to smoke out of a rig.
Absolutely. Because it is different.
It is different.
It's so different. I feel like the sheer amount of smoke, because you can't really breathe as fast as you might like to on an e-rig.
I mean, you can, but it's like burning it faster.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's just constantly heating up. So that like wax is just sitting in a puddle full of like heat up versus the banger, it's cooling off. So it's just like you get that prime temperature. It's not burning it anymore. Me personally, like I don't mean to be a hater, but there will never be a dab that you take out of an e-rig that's going to compare out of a banger. You come bring them all to me and I will tell you, never. I've tried them all. It just like no matter how nice it is, no matter how like stoned it gets you, if that's your primary use and you go to a nail, out of a glass rig, you're gonna get a lot more stoned. It's basically like you're hitting the fucking vape nonstop.
Yes.
I don't mean to be a hater, but it's just like I feel like that's how it is. It also hurts a lot more in the throat for me personally. The e-rigs are just like a lot like just spicier.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a little bit harder to nail down the temperature on the e-rigs. You know, that shit.
I agree.
Yeah, it's just so out here seeing like some people dabbing and being able to give Jack a dab out of a banger in a rig, like you could see it hit.
Well, that smoke that you breathe, it's tough to compare the cloud size on a regular. It's just much thicker, more dense smoke for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my gosh. So we went to go see Pink Exotic, which is where the 7 Cup was held.
An incredible lounge with great food.
So fucking good. But then yesterday we were like, let's switch it up a little bit. We went to the other side of the island, and there is a shop that has hit me up way before we came out here to see if we wanted to swing by if we had some free time, and it's called Grandma Jazz. And oh my gosh.
That's the vibe.
That is the vibe. They got like nice jazz playing there. As soon as you walk in, you have the opportunity to put on a nice little fedora hat.
Yeah, a little smoking hat. I thought that was cool.
It's like you're almost you're putting on like it's like you're jumping into like a show, you know? It's almost like it kind of gives you a layer of like energy that you're like, oh, I'm in the jazz studio right now.
No, it was great. They had some great tea.
Yeah.
Some good cannabis, an incredible view.
Hot chocolate was incredible. The view is probably my favorite part because the weed was really good. The atmosphere was really nice. We didn't know where we were going. We didn't see the outside of this place. We just put it into the GPS, got on our scooters, zing, went over there.
50-minute ride.
15 minutes.
Through the jungle, through the coast.
And we pull up and it's just like twinkle lights, this like standalone home on a hill, just has this beautiful view. There's like cows feeding in a distance. I mean, it was just incredible. So if you're going to be coming to Phuket, and you know that you are, after listening to this, let me tell you, affordable vacation, the most expensive thing you'll pay for is the flight over here.
Yep.
Pink Exotic, great food, great energy, big lounge, nice dispensary with lots of options. And then on the other side of the island, you go check out Grandma Jazz. Completely 2 different vibes.
Yes. And they're both, which I was thinking about right now, everything's been so clean.
Yes.
Grandma Jazz was immaculate on the inside. They had different types of chairs, inside seating, outside seating.
They had a piano.
Said, the teas, the piano. It was a great vibe. It was totally different, where Pink Exotic is more of the outside is kind of like a jungle cafe vibe. They have a lot of hanging greenery. And then you go inside to Pink Exotic and it's just this Bali. They have a huge table that just like invites maybe 30, 40 people to sit at it and really have like a group sesh. Yeah. They have the pillows on the floor for that real Bali vibe. They have the video games in the back for anybody who's trying to like be entertained. And there's so many different coffee shops that all have different vibes, but everything has been very clean and very inviting. And
I agree.
I really, really appreciate that.
Yeah, I agree. Also, you know, just thinking about this, we have not really been able to find edibles out here. I guess edibles are also not the most legal thing out here. It's like a gray area here a little bit in some areas, it seems like.
I was thinking maybe, I haven't looked on the legality of it, but I was wondering, like, is it just... There's such good food out here. They're like, because that's my thing. Like,
no, remember we were talking with Sean, and Sean said that it's the 0.3%, so you can't do. So that's why vapes and edibles are not legal out here. Most of your focus is gonna be on the flower, ice hash, and the rosin. Yeah. Kind of funny how it's like you cannot eat a cookie, but you can smoke a fat blunt.
And then
not
eat
a blunt.
Cookie. like just get high off the blunt and eat this incredible. Perfect cookie. God, the lemon cake that I got and the tiramisu from Pink Exotic were so good.
Yeah, the food out here is really, really nice.
Just fresh.
Everywhere. Yeah, everything is super fresh coming from America. It's like you really appreciate that because everything for us over there is just like sprayed and shit.
And you've been going hard on some fruits. Like you've tried some different types of fruits that are probably really hard to find in America. And
yes.
What was this morning? It was like
passion fruit.
Was that a passion fruit?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Sour.
But like, because like sour, right? But no, like a 9 out of 10. And I like sour stuff, but this was so sour, and it was a very strong passion fruit. Like the oranges, even the cucumber out here, the kiwi, everything is so bright,
natural.
vibrant, and just like it tastes so fresh.
Well, I've been trying to tell that because I'm Ukrainian born and raised. So when I moved to the United States, I was like, why the fuck are these strawberries white?
I didn't know a strawberry was red the whole way through. I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't know strawberries had white in them.
Yeah.
I thought that was just because it's not done growing.
No, like everything
in Ukraine,
out here,
you go and you pick your strawberries. They're red, and then they got their little white dots, and then they got the green leaf on top. That's it.
Like you had dragon fruit today, and it was like
pink, hot pink,
purple,
almost purple. It was crazy.
And I feel like in the U.S. it's not that color.
And that's why I'm just like, dude, like the things. First of all, there's no additives. It seems like, you know,
Yeah.
they're not adding stuff on it. They're not spraying it. It's just like it is how it is, and it's like really like making me feel connected to my Ukrainian roots being out here. Especially since so many people here speak Russian. I'm just like feel straight at home.
No, we're everywhere. You see a sign, it's Thai. And then right below it, Russian. And most of them don't even have any type of English.
Yeah.
It's just Thai or Russian.
I didn't know it was like that out here.
I think it's possibly the fight scene out here. Muay Thai is just, we've seen so many gyms, so many different types of people from different parts of the world over here kind of training.
Yeah.
And I mean, Russia's much closer than the U.S. is from here. This would be an incredible vacation spot for them.
Speaking of Muay Thai, that's another place that I forgot to mention. Jaime let us know that a place, somebody reached out to him and told him that there's a Muay Thai place here where you could smoke there while you train.
Yes.
So I really wanted to take a chance to pop over there because on our side, we're filming this on the 14th of June, or the 13th of June, sorry. Tomorrow we actually go to Bangkok. So today is our last day on Phuket, on this side of Thailand, to check everything out. Yeah, but I'm kind of excited to switch up the location a little bit and to kind of check out how the cannabis culture is over there. It's just like, to me, it's really incredible to get a chance to see the love for the plant in so many different places. We went to Japan where it is so illegal to consume there, and cannabis culture, Japan was like, we put up a CBD shop. You know, and you go in there and you're just like, it's just like they're waiting for when the legalities kick in. Then it's just like you already have a name established. You already have a location. You're already holding a license. You know, you go to like Germany and Prague, to completely different. Germany, you know, got this Mary Jane Berlin that's going on right now. And even now, we're seeing from last year, the rules have completely changed, you know?
Yeah, it seems like it almost did a 180.
Yeah, it was like a free ball for everybody, just like come in and have fun. And then they were like, no, not everybody can come and just do whatever they want.
It went from 2014 to 2021 real quick.
Really quick.
Real quick.
Then you go to Prague, and Prague, to be honest with you, didn't have as many shops. Like there was like places you could buy a bong, but you could just smoke weed. We would smoke blunts outside, just walking around. There's absolutely no issues whatsoever. It's just so incredible. You go to Amsterdam, it's like you only want to consume in the lounges, same as Barcelona. You only want to consume in the lounges. You don't really want to be caught with flower outside of the lounges. Here, Jaime was walking out with a quarter pound of weed for his smokable art, and he was asking Jack, like from Pink Exotic, like, hey, can I get a bag to put this into? And he's like, nah, you're good.
You're good.
Jaime was just with a quarter of pound of weed, just on a scooter, like over there, no problem.
Yeah, no problems. I think the only, if I could give anybody a suggestion before coming to Thailand, it's only one thing.
Get an international driver's license.
Get an international driver's license.
I didn't know that.
I did not know that either. I don't think it's any type of like time-consuming process. I think it's pretty in and out.
If you plan on scootering over here.
Yeah,
if you're just going to be Ubering or taking the Grab car, you don't need it.
Yeah, you're good to go. But I will say, I think that the scooter just gives you a much better introduction into just Thai culture, because it's very rare that you're seeing someone in a car.
You see people in cars. You
100%.
definitely see people in cars, but
there's
it's
just
nice on the scooter.
There's so many more scooters, and it's just more freeing. I feel like you're more aware, and you're just seeing the countryside as you're driving. The wind's hitting you in the face. You're getting the different smells.
It. Oh, man.
The smells have been crazy.
The food, you go from like a smell of like weed, smell of food, smell of the ocean, smell of some animals, and then it just recycles itself.
And then the first half of the trip, we were getting that smell of rain. I love the smell of rain.
It was definitely really, really nice.
Oh my God. We drove through a Thai rainstorm.
A few times.
A couple crazy clips of that.
It was good. Going back to the international driver's license, I will say this though, coming from America, we're used to very aggressive police officers and very unfair police officers. I will say that is not the experience that you're going to have here.
No.
We got pulled over just because, like, you know, they see that we're not from here. So they're like, let me see your international driver's license. We got pulled over. I think I got stopped 4 times already, 5 times.
Yeah.
And only one time did we have to pay. And it was pretty much just like, do you want to go to the police station or do you want to give me 1,000 baht right now? 1,000 baht is, if you divide it by 31, that's how many dollars it is. It's barely any dollars, okay?
It's easy.
For a ticket. And then they give you a piece of paper that says you already got pulled over. Then if they stop you again, you're literally like, I already got stopped. They gave him a piece of paper. They didn't give me one. Every time I get pulled over and I'm like, yo, I already paid. He's like, how much you pay? I was like, I gave you 1,000 baht for just me. He's like, oh, okay, you can go. It's just like such a different experience with the police here. And it's just like, it just feels very like you're enjoying your life over here. This is probably the most I've enjoyed myself. God, in years. I honestly can't even tell you the last time I enjoyed myself this much.
This is a very different vacation than I've ever been on, and I loved it.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible.
I love being in the countryside. Like, you leave our Airbnb and in 10 seconds, there's a field full of like bullocks.
Oh my God.
With huge horns.
And little babies.
Little babies. You know, we got little lizards and frogs outside by the pool.
It's really cool. All the birds and the butterflies. Like, it just, you feel alive.
Yes.
Tone was actually asking me for a while because he's like, I'm a little nervous about you on the scooter when it's raining. Like, you're not wearing glasses. And I was like, honestly, like, I've been feeling fucking dead inside in the United States. I'm gonna be honest with you. I get up every day and I do what I'm supposed to do, and then I'm getting through my checklist of things, and then I go to sleep, and I'm just like, I feel like I live one of the most wonderful lifestyles that possible. I smoke weed all day, I create cannabis content, I get to meet all these great people, and I feel fucking dead inside. I feel dead inside in the United States. I do. It's just like, I don't know what it is. And I genuinely was just like, oh my God, I'm broken. And then you come out here and you're like, no, it's literally our environment. It's the everybody's wrong. Let's fight about everything. Like, everybody here is just minding their own business. There's been no problem at all. No differences. Like, you're just minding your own business. You're doing your own thing. You're just looking outside. There's butterflies. There's fresh fruit. There's smoothie stands on every corner. Everything costs a couple of dollars. And you're like, life is supposed to be like this.
Yes.
This is what it's supposed to be like. I want to see animals roaming around the street. I want them to see, like, you know, minding their own business and getting a chance to have their environment. The monkeys have their area where they hang out, you know, and they're like hanging out with the dogs. The dogs are getting fleas picked on by the monkeys. It's just like the most incredible like experience out here. And it really makes you look at life a little bit different. It
really is the people, because we went to a restaurant and the waiters were just so excited. They're like, it's our first day. You could feel
they literally
the
said,
energy
we just opened today. You're one of our first people to come eat here. We were like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
We went to go eat at a breakfast place, and there was a couple there with a baby. The baby, you could tell, just learned how to walk. So he was like super curious. And the waiters and the waitresses are all holding the baby. They're like grabbing him. They're like giving them a snack.
Not regulars, like first time there.
Yeah.
These people were just very comfortable with this woman's baby, and the woman was comfortable with the staff.
Everybody's just like, it was awesome. Like, it's just incredible here. Mark my words, Koala might be moving to Thailand, because honestly, I feel a little bad because my mom has worked so hard to come to the United States, you know? And I know it's really hard. We're dealing with so much ice and all the stuff that's going on. I'm getting emotional talking about it. But like, man, it just like really helps you. Like, what fucking American dream to go over there, to work so hard, to constantly feel like you're not doing enough. I feel like all I do is hustle and work and put in the work, and it still doesn't feel enough. It never feels enough. It feels like you need to do so much more. And I come out here and I just feel like, I'm living life all wrong, man. I feel like I'm living it all wrong. It's just like, I feel like in the United States, we're just like chasing. What the fuck are we chasing?
Yeah.
What are we chasing? For
chasing
50%? For 50% of our paycheck to be gone? For like, just everybody to be fighting? Every time I open my DMs, it's like, you're doing this wrong. You're doing that wrong. Don't do this. I just want to fucking enjoy myself. If I do it wrong, I want to be able to learn from it because I learned from it, not because you're yelling at me.
Yeah. And
it's just like, it's might be selfish, but it's been amazing to get away from all that energy and just be like, life doesn't fucking have to be like that.
No.
And I'm just questioning everything. I'm questioning why I push so hard, why I spend so much money on, you know, like living out there. And so like, constantly just like it not feeling like enough. You could have your own business, you could have 10 of your own businesses, and it just doesn't feel enough in the United States. Where is the American dream? Because I feel like it's here in Thailand.
I agree.
In all honesty.
It's been very freeing to come out here and just see how much people really do appreciate their time. They like on our street, the Airbnb, there's a big software company. Yeah. Always, 50, 80 employees there.
Huge company.
And in the middle of the day, you see them outside and they're all laughing. They're having a good time. They're eating lunch. They got a couple street vendors there. And like, you can see like the people there are having a good time. They're not at work and they're like, oh my God,
living
I
to
hate
work.
this place.
Yeah.
And I'm sure everywhere in the world, there's people who feel that way 100%.
Yeah.
But just the vibe out here is I saw when I went to the pier right before the podcast, I saw a guy in a suit and tie on his scooter fishing off of the dock. And I was like, well, you just don't see that you don't have enough time to like, oh, I'm going to go down here and just fish for a little bit. So
yeah, it's amazing.
There's definitely, I think it's a lot of places outside the U.S. where the focus is on living, right? We talked about Spain, how they have the siesta.
Same thing in Ukraine. Like you come to Ukraine, sometimes the store is just closed. Why is it closed? Because it's nice weather outside. I went to go for a walk. The fuck? Like literally. And nobody is upset about that because that's just how it is. You either wait around and we'll be back in like 15, 20 minutes, or you go to the next store right next door. You go to the bazaar and you get it, the stuff. Yeah. Like it's just focused more on living. Again, doesn't mean that there's definitely struggles. It's definitely not the easiest all the time, 100%. But like to be able to be in an environment where the animals are enjoying themselves and, like you just hear the birds and you see the butterflies and it's green everywhere. And it's just like, I know that's not for everybody, but coming from a person that's been in LA for a decade, I'm like, fuck LA.
Another example that I can give, right? In America, I feel like most of the time you walk past dogs and they're either going to bark at you or they're just looking at you. Out here, 9 out of 10 dogs, when they see you and you start walking over,
smile, they wag their
tails wagging. They're like, what's going on, bro? And they're outside. You see on Monkey Hill, there were some of the dogs that were just a part of like someone's house. And it's like, hey, there's 5 of us and we're just making sure that the monkeys don't take over this house. But also we'll lay down and let the monkeys come, hey, take a couple of these fleas off of me and stuff. Yeah. So I even feel like the animals out here where, it's obviously hotter. They're outside more. So they might have not like the most luxurious life, but they are loved and they are a part of nature. Yeah. They're connected with nature and they just are getting loved on by How about Jack's dog at the event? Oh my God.
Jack is the owner of Pink Exotic and 7 Cup. He brought his brown lab over to the shop and awesome. He kept putting the dog in the dispensary part. I was one of the people that was like, why are you over here? Come out. And I would just let the dog out. And the dog is just like, yay, I'm outside.
So happy.
Jack would grab it, put it back into the dispensary part. Someone else would see the dog there, let him out. The dog's like, I'm outside again. And it's just like, it just feels like there's an appreciation for life. And it's just like, feels really nice. And we've been getting a lot of work done out here too. There's been a lot of like on the go, but it just, the energy and the environment, I don't know. If you have been looking for a sign to go on a little getaway, to start setting some money aside, and you're like, where do I go? I strongly recommend Thailand. Thailand's not paying me to tell you this. I just personal experience from getting a chance to explore and see the world a little bit from the places that we've gone to. This is 100% a place I will be coming back to. If not, like we've even talked about getting a temporary like house out here. So me and Tone and Jaime split it so we can come out here. Obviously, my animals are what's holding me back in Los Angeles, but
get them on a boat
and get them over here. No, I'm telling you, it's just different. It makes me want to start a company out here. It makes me want to enjoy living.
And a company out here would be so much fun, especially for you, because you have the English down pat.
The Russian
down pat. So you're already taking 2 out of the 3 major languages
I would be learning another language
and you would be learning Thai. And I'm sure like when you walk in, fellas, when you walk into a place, soy de krap is how you say, hi, how are you? And for the ladies, it's soy de ka. So yeah, I think if we were out here for a couple months, like we're at least getting the intermingling dialogue down for sure.
Yeah. This is also a place I would want to have kids at. Like Los Angeles in no way, shape, or form look like a place to me where I would want to birth a child. No offense to anybody that's having children there. I have my little baby niece there. And even there, like, man,
The parents just seem like, right, yeah, we got up early a couple days, and the parents are up early with the kid. They got the kid on the back of the motorbike. They're rolling to school. The schools are, there's a ton of guards outside of the school making sure that the cars are slowing down for the kids. The kids are in uniforms. They're all cute as hell.
Cute as hell. On their little scooters, too.
Oh, in like middle school, high
16 years
schoolers,
old.
pulling up in a group.
Yeah, we saw like school getting out, and we saw these boys on the scooter trying to get the girls to come with them, and they're like 15 years old. It's just like really cute.
No, it's a great culture out here, and it's really, like I said, it's very safe. I haven't seen anything crazy happen, obviously.
Literally 2 people fell off of their motorbikes in front of us, and one of them was just standing on a motorbike.
One guy was so old. And then just bloop, I feel like he forgot that he didn't have his kickstand down. He was like, let me pick my foot, and just hit the ground.
He was all right. But honestly, that also made me like, it made me look at like growing old differently over here, you know? Like, I lost my mom. My mom was only 49 years old. And honestly, looking at like life out here, I'm like, I feel like she would have enjoyed it more out here. I feel like the reason why she didn't like life so much and she didn't want to like, you know, kind of keep going in a way is because of how difficult it is in LA. It's very, once you get caught up in like a financial situation or like it's really hard to get out of it. And it just like consumes your entire life, you know? You throw a couple of life experiences that happen there, you know, that add on to the depression and the trauma. And it's just like really, really hard to snap out of it, especially like in LA, you see everybody's rich, everybody's making it, they're all networking, they're all this. And you feel like you're not leveling up, you know, you feel like you're not quite there. And no matter how big, I consider myself, I'm koala puffs. I consider myself like I've really reached a lot of really good goals and I have fucking ways to go. And I don't feel like I've done shit in LA, you know? It's just like, it's a very difficult place. So I look at out here and I'm seeing some grandmas on scooters. They look like they're like 65, 75 years old, just on it. And I'm like, wow, I feel like my mom would have enjoyed life out here a little bit more. And it just kind of makes me look forward to my future and be like, hi, is this the move?
It's just a slower pace and it's more focused. I think America almost everywhere, obviously there are some pockets that aren't like this, but it's very, it's just very focused on money.
Yeah.
Because in capitalism, everything costs money. Everything costs every year that much more. And I'm sure inflation hits over here, but we've all got scooters, right? We've been here for, call it 10 days. Okay, the scooters probably cost us $40 a person. And to fill all 3 bikes up costs
$9?
$9. I think it was like $7.
For all 3 combined.
For all 3 bikes.
It's crazy.
And gasoline is gasoline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that it's the gas is that much cheaper over here. So it's just a place where you don't have to kill yourself and work a 70-hour work week to get
enjoy
by.
Life. To enjoy something.
Yeah, not even to enjoy. I feel like in America, you're busting your ass just to pay your bills. Look,
it's true.
You're not enjoying yourself. You can't afford to go out. You don't have time.
I mean, not to be an ass, but there are frequently times where I'm like, I cannot take a day off today because then I have to film twice as much stuff tomorrow. I cannot smoke that much weed in one day. That's why everything is broken up for me.
Yeah.
And if God forbid I get sick, I can't. I have so much content to catch up on to the point where it's like, and this is, again, I'm living one of the most privileged, lucky, incredible lives to be like, I'm making cannabis content and like, it's like, you know, the cost of living in the United States and maintaining any type of anything is just like, you're living to work.
For sure.
And out here, it just felt like I felt like I didn't work enough. And I feel like I got all my stuff taken care of and done over the last couple of days. And I was like, oh, fuck, I feel like I'm not doing enough. And it's like, no, you're supposed to enjoy yourself a little bit. Like, get used to that. Yeah,
you got on the horse. Like, there's just things that kind of bring a little bit of life to you. And again, like, you don't have to go in LA. It's, I want to go on a horseback ride, $150 for 30 minutes.
On a single file line with a helmet, and you cannot trot. You're literally just walking, and these horses look exhausted, you know. Whereas out here, like, this is just what the horse is like. Oh, this is what I do. I just like chill, and then I go for a ride. You know, like, I'm not overworked.
The people are appreciative, right? The guy who took you guys horseback riding was all smiles.
Oh my God,
he was having a great time.
He saw me and Jaime all happy. He was like, "Y'all good?" And we're like, "Oh my God, so good."
Yeah.
So overall, like, I'm really excited about the cannabis culture out here, the life out here, the food out here, the people out here. So I'm really excited to see what Bangkok is going to be like.
Can't wait.
And I'm excited for our next podcast episode because we will be comparing the Thailand cannabis scene and the lifestyle to the one in Germany. So I'm kind of excited to see it back to back, especially since it seems like a lot of things in Germany have changed since last year. So it's going to be a really cool experience. So I hope that you guys pop into the next episode to get a chance to see how everything is in Berlin. And we wanted to get Drew on our next podcast, Drew sharing. So hopefully he will have some time. Also, shout out to Vibe With You. He's going to be meeting us out in Berlin.
Jerry needed to be in next Thai trip. Jerry's got
January, apparently. So if you are watching this and you're like, wow, Koala, you've convinced me. I want to come to Thailand and I would like to go maybe when you're there. We're currently looking at coming back in January for the 7 Cup to judge some more options for the flower, ice, hash, and rosin. As we have more information, we will keep sharing it. But honestly, if you've been looking for anywhere cannabis friendly to go on vacation where you're not blowing a shit ton of money, Phuket is the place to go.
It is a vibe. Any type of food, it is here. It is cheap and it is quality.
Absolutely. Tone, anything else you want to leave us off with?
Don't be afraid to explore the world. Don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zones. I've done some things on this trip where I typically wouldn't do them if it was just myself. And just like looking back, I'm glad to have had the experience. So get out of your comfort zone and just enjoy the journey.
Absolutely. Explore and let the cannabis take you where it's going to take you. Thank you guys so much for an incredible episode. We will see you in 2 weeks, and I hope you are really stoned while you're watching this. Have a good one. Bye.
Later.